over onto the deep water rocks, were pushed up and over onto the shallow water rocks, which is right here. That fault itself is folded. The fault itself goes like this. It's bent along with the rocks. That indicates that it was an early structure, and later on, when Africa hit, everything earlier was folded, including that fault. So the fault here is bent over and down. Now, because it was bent over and down, in the later motion over here, when it was being pushed from this side, the fault, which had originally moved this way, was reversed because the fault itself had been turned over. So it's an interesting structure here. It gets a little bit complicated. That actually is very common in mountainous regions where you've had a lot of geological activity. The stuff that happens later messes up the stuff that happened first. Okay, now you're looking now down at not the Great Valley. The Great Valley is actually on the other side there. That double ridge that you see in the back, the near ridge just the other side of the valley, and the far ridge, those are both the Blue Ridge itself. That is the Blue Ridge geological product. It again is a major upfold called an anticline. The rocks on the edge of the upfold are basically sandstone very, very similar to this. Maybe the same sandstone, we don't really know. And because it's very, very hard, very resistant, it stands up as the twin ridges, one on either side of the Blue Ridge. On the interior, the rock is metamorphosed basalt and some granite gneiss, which is the oldest rock. The granite gneiss is the oldest rock in Maryland. We're going to get to see it a little bit later. And on the far side is the Great Valley, and we're going to end up our trip in the Great Valley itself, which is limestone, very much like the limestone in the valley here. And since the limestone in the valley here and the limestone on the other side do have fossils in them, we can put ages on them, and we can say that it's basically the same limestone on either side. It's preserved on the downside of the fold here, and it's preserved on the downside of the fold on the other side of the Blue Ridge. This, as I mentioned in my lecture on Maryland geology, all of these geological structures, the Great Valley, the Blue Ridge, the Piedmont, and the folded Appalachians beyond, extend north and south all the way to Quebec to the north and all the way to Alabama on the south. So these are not small local structures. This is basically the structure of all of eastern North America. Okay, any questions? Okay, in that case we'll go along to our next stop, and with any luck we'll spend a few minutes there and then we'll go on for ice cream.